So yeah, I'm Martin. So I'm from this school called RoboEDU. We do teach a lot of programming related stuff and also some science experiments. And we have a lot of other stuff like 3D modeling, building 3D models, Arduino, making electronics. So a lot of cool projects that we'll be doing. But today I'll mostly be introducing you guys to Roblox Studio. Yeah, again, before we start, how many of you have Roblox Studio though? You can send in the chat or raise your hand or either way. Okay, so that's good. So quite a few of you. Yeah, I mean, if you have that, you'll be able to follow along. But if you don't though, it's okay. So you can just take a look at how a game is built in Roblox Studio, a simple one. And then how to use that actually, because that's the class is gonna be about mostly. Okay, so yeah, if everybody's ready, if you have your Roblox Studio though, you can open that up. Again, if you don't, you can just watch for now. Okay. But yeah. Yeah, George.
Person next to me is literally playing Roblox right now.
Really? Oh, who?
Someone.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so Roblox is fun. I like Roblox. It's very easy to make a game out of it. But let me start sharing my screen then. I guess we're gonna start. So Roblox Studio. There you go. So if you open that one up, this is what you will see over here. So pretty much all those things are the templates that you can use. Roblox built those ones for you. Some of them that you can already play like a game. But then this time though, I'll say we'll probably start with just the basic classic base play, everything from scratch. So it's gonna be easy. Let's see. So I'm going to just click on this one, classic base plate, like that. Okay, so yeah, once I clicked on it though, this is something that you'll see. So you might have something different than what I have, but this will basically be it. All right, so I'm going to give everyone some time if you want to open that one up. So once you do though, couple things that's pretty important over here. First is that you have a question. Hold up. Yep.
When I went to Roblox Studio, it looks like this. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It looks like this. I don't know.
No, so that's the Roblox Studio website. Yeah. So that's on the Roblox Studio itself. You get to download Roblox Studio from there. So you see start creating.
Oh.
If you click on start creating, you'll be able to download Roblox Studio. But that's not Roblox Studio itself though, but that's the website for Roblox Studio. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. All right, but let me just continue on over here. Again, a couple of things that's pretty important in this Roblox Studio. This is called an interface. But then a couple of things that's pretty important in here. First thing, Explorer. Explorer contains everything that you see in your game. So any buildings, any world, any trees, whatever you're doing, any cars will be in the Explorer. And has more than just that. There's also stuff like sound servers. So if you hear any background music, it will also be in the Explorer as well. And then the second thing that's pretty important will be properties. So you're gonna make sure you have this too though. Properties are the things that we can change on the Explorer. For example, if I have a tree, I wanna change that tree to be yellow instead of green, then that's what I do with properties. Okay, I'll show you later on how to do that exactly, but you gotta know this too first. Okay, but yeah, that's Explorer and properties. And the basic control in Roblox Studio, if you play Roblox, is very similar. If you hold down your right click, you'll be able to move the camera around. Also, the view over here is called the game camera. If you right click and move your mouse, you'll be able to move the game camera around. And WASD to move in and out, left and right. And you can scroll in, you can scroll out, scroll in, scroll out, like that. Okay, scroll in, scroll out. So those are the basic controls. Again, WASD to move in and out, left and right. Hold down right click to move the whole camera up and down. And then scroll in, scroll out to zoom in and out. That's the basic control. So if you want to test the game that you are building, the way to do that, click on this one over here. Hold up, where's my pen? I can bring my pen out. But then click on this play button up here. Why can I not draw? I don't know if you guys can see, but there's this play button up here. Click on that one, then you'll be able to start playing. Okay, so that's the test button, then click on that. So if I click on that though, I'll be able to start playing it. There you go. And then the control is mostly the same like Roblox, just WASD to move around, scrolling in and out. I can zoom all the way out like that. But usually in a game, you are not allowed to do something like this because the programmers set it that way. But when you're testing, you can just zoom in and out, zoom all the way in. This is first person view. And then zoom out, this will be the third person view. Something like that. Oh, wait, do you have a question still? No? Okay. Okay then. All right, so yeah, that will be start testing. This will be the testing mode. Something like this. Okay, so probably a little time on this part. And then we're gonna start doing something about explorers and properties together. Just like that. I'm trying to jump off the building. If I jump off, I'm just gonna die and I'm gonna respawn back on the base plate. Okay, so just like that, pretty simple. All right, so yeah, if you're good though, just click on this stop button over here to stop the game. Because as you're making changes to Roblox Studio, you need to stop the game first. Otherwise, all the changes won't be saved. So make sure to click on stop to stop the game. And then we're gonna start adding a little more stuff to what we're doing. Okay, so yeah, once you stop the game though, you're just gonna get back to the building mode. So you have the building mode and then you have the testing mode. Okay, again, you can add stuff in your testing mode, but then that thing won't be saved. So if you want that to be saved, it's better to add it in the building mode. Okay, so now let's add something. We're gonna zoom in more like that. So you can see a bigger base plate. Then let me just add a simple part to it. So the way to add a part, select this one, click on this one over here. So the part is basically just a block, okay? So click on that one and then you can see what that actually is. I click on it. So there you go. This is a basic part. You can click on it and drag it, and then it's gonna be at different places. Just like that. Yeah, as you can see, though, once you add a part in, you'll be able to see that part over here in your Explorer as well. So also workspace is the world that you have and then everything inside of it. Since we added a part, so the part will be inside of the workspace as well. So, okay, so those are some basic controls. But other than that though, now you see properties, all the stuff that's inside of the properties. So let's say if you want to change the color of something, I could just click on this thing, brick color, change it to maybe green or something. Now the part is going to be green. Just like that, pretty simple. So once you click on the side though, you're going to see my properties is gone. If you want to get it back, just click on part one more time to get it back. just like that. And other than that, other than the basic brick color, we can also change material. Material is what it looks like. So for example, I can change it to grass. So this thing will look like grass. If I change that to ice, then it's gonna look like ice, but because it's green, so that it doesn't look like it, really. But I can change it to sand, and I change the brick color to something like sand color. So this will look more like sand. Or one thing that's used very often in Roblox Studio is neon. You do see something like this a lot in games, neon. Yeah, so those are the things that you can do in the properties. So try it if you have Roblox Studio though. Okay. But if you guys are all good with this, and then I'll just show you how to build a game. Basically, we're gonna just start with very simple ones. RB games. Anyone plays RB? You guys play RB games? Yeah, Jaden, you play RB games? That's good.
Yeah, I play
RB games are fun.
sort of games: Simulator, Tycoon, RB, Hardcore, and more.
Okay, so that's good. Yeah, let's build an RB game together then. So after this one though, I don't really need this part. So let me just delete that. I'm gonna click on this one. If you backspace, you'll be able to delete that. So click on it and then do backspace, then you'll be able to delete that. Or you can right click on your workspace and then do delete. Right click on the part in your workspace and then do delete. That's also another way to delete the part. Okay. So now we're going to talk about some other basic controls. So like what are those? So with those, we'll be able to make a simple RB game. You don't really need any coding. So it's going to be quick that way. But yeah, first thing is that we need to select the base plate over here. Click on the base plate. So that'll be the thing that we're adjusting. I'm going to click on base plate. Once I click on base plate though, I'm gonna click on this thing called scale. Scale, pretty straightforward. It means we're gonna make this thing bigger or smaller. That is scaling. So I'm gonna click on scale. So once you do, you can see the little circles around it. Okay, if you click on the circles and drag, you'll be able to make that smaller or bigger. So in this case, we're just gonna make the base plate a lot smaller. Like that. And then we're gonna make it a lot smaller this way as well. So pretty much I want it to just have enough room that I can stand on. Like that. Okay, and I can zoom in and then see how big that actually is. I think this is still pretty big, so I can just zoom in more. Yeah, so if you're not sure how big this thing is for now, you can click on play. Then you're gonna see if this map is big enough or too small. So if I click on play though, oh no, I died. I died right away because I just dropped it around.
Can we put like a spawn block or something like that?
Yes, so we're gonna do that too. Yeah, once I make this one model, where I spawn will be different. So spawn is where you start in the game. So let's control that. We want to control where we're starting in the game. The way to do that, pretty simple. We're just gonna click on this one, model. Hold up my pen. Model over here. Click on model. I don't know if you guys can see this one, model. Over here, click on it. So once you click on that though, you gotta find this one. This is very tricky to find. See if you can find this little gear icon. This one. That means spawn. So it's usually right somewhere near this fire icon.
Smaller.
Okay. So again, model. And then find this gear icon. See if you can find this thing. This thing is harder to find, but usually it's easier to find the fire. If you find the fire, that gear icon will be somewhere near that. So that's the spawn point icon. Again, spawn point is where your character is gonna start. So we wanna control that mostly.
No,
Okay,
like
so let me,
how to make like the whole thing smaller.
or how to make it smaller. All right, so let me show you that one more time. So first thing, you gotta click on base plate because this thing is called a base plate. So click on base plate. Once you clicked on base plate, click on scale. Scale is the way to make something bigger or smaller. So I'm gonna click on base plate and then click on scale. Then I'm gonna see this couple of circles, right? Just click on the circle and drag. This is the way to make it bigger or smaller. All right, just like that. So I'm gonna give everyone some more time and I'm gonna get back to the spawn point part. But yeah, if you have that though, just click on this one to get a spawn point. I'm gonna click on it and they're gonna see this guy's a spawn point. And then you can also click on the spawn point and drag to place that somewhere on your base plate. Exactly right in the middle, then that'd be good. In that way, you have a reference of how big this base plate is. About this big will be good. Okay. Yeah, once you have a spawn point though, probably go back to home and then just click on play and then test, see if the player is starting on the spawn point. Again, home, click on play, test that. Okay, so if I click on it though, you're gonna see my character is gonna start right on this spawn point, you see? Right on this thing. So that's what spawn point does. Controls where the character starts.
How do I move?
Move the spawn point.
Just, yeah.
So let me stop. The way to move it, you can just click on it, click on the spawn point and then drag it.
I mean, how do I like move like the ground and stuff like?
Or how to move the ground. So make it smaller. Is that what you mean? But if you want to make that smaller, make the ground smaller, again, click on base plate. And then click on scale. So I'm going to click on base plate first, and I'm going to click on scale, and then you'll be able to make that bigger or smaller. Like, can I have a question? Yeah, what's your question?
Well, somehow when I press the arrow button, my character is frozen. It doesn't move anywhere.
Oh, arrow, use WASD to move. It's better that way. Arrow keys can move as well, but it's not as good.
No, I mean my character is frozen.
Oh, is it the whole thing frozen?
Yeah, whole thing. I press it, but nothing happens.
Oh, it does that sometimes. It might be because it crashed. But yeah, give it some time to respond. It might respond.
Okay.
Yeah, because Roblox Studio actually takes a lot of computing power. So sometimes it does crash. And sometimes it's pretty laggy. Depends on how big of a game that you're building. Okay, so just like that, all good. If all good, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna click on play one more time. Again, I'll be right on the spawn point. But from this thing though, I'll be able to make a simple RB game out of it. Okay, RB game, if you guys are not sure, it's just creating platforms you can jump to. So it's like an obstacle course, something like that. All right, so now once we got the spawn point and where we start, so next thing we gotta do is to create the platform that we're gonna jump on. So pretty easy. You guys remember how to create a part that we just talked about? So just click on part over here to create a part. I'm gonna click on it.
Great stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, now you have a part, and then also click on scale. In that way, you can make the part bigger. So at least big enough for your player to jump on. Something like this would be good. This would be big enough for our player to jump on. Okay. But next thing is that we want to lift that up from the ground and then move it out of our base plate. Because right now, if you just click and drag, it's always going to be on your base plate. We don't want that. We want it to be out of the base plate.
Zoom in.
How do you zoom in? You use scroll, mouse scroll.
No, I just zoom into like the wall.
What do you mean zooming into the world?
Whatever.
Okay, but yeah, if you scroll, you can zoom in and out. So if I scroll in, scroll out, you see how it zooms. Yeah, that's how to control it. Okay, so yeah, again, next thing, let me move it up and then move it out of the base plate. I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna click on move. You see this side, move over here. It will allow you to move that base plate, on our base plate, move that part up. Move right next to scale, click on it. And then you're gonna see those little arrows over here. Click on it and drag. So this is the way to bring it up. And I'm gonna click on it and drag it out. Just like that. Where you see the arrows? Yeah, Jaden.
Somehow I played the block, but when I get play, I don't see the block.
Just what's the question again? Can I help you out?
I get place the block, but when I get play, the block gone.
Yes, that's right. I'll show you why in a second. All right, any other questions before we move on?
Martin, can you please tell me how to get the arrows?
Oh, get which one?
The
This one?
arrow.
The arrows? Oh yeah, so you gotta click on the part first. Click on the part first and then click on move. Move is the one that's gonna give you the arrows. And then just click on the arrow and then drag it. You'll be able to move that up and down, in and out, left and right. But in this case, we're just gonna move it a little bit out of our base plate. But just like Jaden said, if you start like this, something weird is gonna happen, which is that you're not gonna see any platforms or steps. But let me try. How do you move? Again, just click
No,
on.
like how do I move so I can see like the ground at different perspectives and stuff? Because I'm only stuck in one place.
So again, right click on your mouse and then drag it. Hold down the right click and then drag it. What do you have a mouse? Again, it's better to have a mouse for Roblox Studio.
Oh, yeah, it works.
Okay, yeah. Right click on the mouse and then drag it. All right, so again, I'm gonna move this one up and then move it out. But if I play, you're gonna see you don't see no parts. How come? We just place a part right there. Where did that go? The answer is that this is another way to show you. If you there's a way to not play the game, but to test what you have. So instead of clicking play, I'm gonna click on these little arrows down here. And then I'm gonna do run. This way means I'm not gonna play the game, but I wanna run to see what's gonna happen. Okay, so it means you're not gonna have no characters, but then you're gonna see how everything goes. I'm gonna click on run, all right? And then you're gonna see, if I click on run, the part fell right through the ground. That's because by default, everything in the game has gravity acting on it, just like in real life. By default, it's gonna have gravity. And then if there's gravity, it's gonna go down. Oh yeah, George, you have a question?
Sometimes it just like spawn in the void.
What do you have a spawn point? If a spawn point, then it's gonna control where you
Spawn
start.
point in the void.
Really? Even with the spawn point? But make sure you have a spawn point though. Again, spawn point controls where you're starting.
I do.
What? Well, also check which one you are clicking. Make sure it's play, not play here. Because if you do play here, you might do that. That might happen too. Make sure it's play, not play here. Yeah, so let me probably talk about the difference between those ones. Play means you're gonna start on the spawn point. If you don't have a spawn point, then it's gonna start randomly. If you do play here, it's gonna drop from where you are right now. So where you're seeing everything right now, it's gonna drop the player right here. That's play here. Run means you're just gonna test how everything's gonna work, but without actually playing the game. So which means there's no character, not gonna be able to control anything, but you can see something happening. Okay, so again, let's get back to this one. So now what if I don't want it to drop though? What do I do? So I gotta click on the part over here. And then I'm gonna scroll down in my properties, very important panel, properties. Scroll down in my
Martin?
properties. Yeah, Jaden?
How you get like your property and Explorer?
Oh, you don't have that?
Not
Okay,
because
so yeah.
I
If you don't have
accidentally
that,
deleted.
I show you. Yeah, don't ever close these two. These two are very important. So
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
ever close these two. But the way to get it out is that you gotta go to view. I'm gonna click on view. And then in view, I'm gonna click on explore and properties. Hold up, let me circle that. Explorer and properties, click on this two, then that's the way to bring it out. All right. So do that. Or somebody send something in the chat, let me see. Or how to make face play small. Yeah, so the screen might look different. Let's get back to it. Yeah, because mine is in dark mode. And then all the panels over here are customizable. So all those things are customizable. You usually bring out what you need. So that's why your screen might look different from mine. Okay, so now again, let's get back to it. I don't want gravity on this part because so that I can step on it. If there's gravity, it's just gonna fall right down and then there's nothing I can do. So the way to do that, click on the part. Again, very important, properties. Yeah, George?
I can't find like that appearance. Appearance.
Which one?
Appearance.
Oh, appearance. Well, we don't need this one for now though, not appearance. But then make sure you click on the part first. Click on the part first. But you should have properties. If you don't see appearance, that's okay, because we don't need that. Okay, so click on the parts. Then you scroll down in your properties. We're not gonna be using appearance, but we need to use this thing called anchor. See if you can find this thing. Anchor. Anchor means it's gonna stay here. It's not gonna move. You can't even push it. I'll zoom in and out. Zoom in and out, it's scrolling on your mouse. So I'm gonna click on the game here and I scroll in and out. Scroll in and out, and then that's where to zoom in and out. Okay. If you don't have a mouse though, that might be tricky. You can still do that with touchpad, but then that's tricky. Okay, so yeah, again, anchor it doesn't work, really? Oh, make sure you click on over here first. Click on over here first to zoom in and out, because if you're on the Explorer or properties or some other things, you won't be able to zoom in and out in here. So make sure you click on here first, then you scroll. Okay, so yeah, if you anchor that though, that's good. If you anchor that though, start the game one more time, you're gonna see that part there. Oh no, what did I anchor it? I didn't anchor it. Whoops, what am I doing? Anchor, click on it. Yeah, make sure it's checked. If it's checked, that means this thing is now anchored, which means you cannot move that anymore. So let me just click on play. Now run, click on play. Then you're gonna see that part over there. See? There you go. It's too far. I can jump on it. Oh, I can jump on it. No, I can't. Okay, so now I can adjust that. So from that though, I know this part is a little bit too high up. Let me bring it down. Let me bring it closer so I can jump on this thing. Just like that. Adjust the position and then click on play again. Then you can just try it. Let me try it. Jump. There you go. So there you go. We have our first platform here. All right, that works.
Martin, mine did not work.
Oh, why? What happened?
I don't know.
Or do you see that or do you not see it?
I don't know what
Okay.
you're saying.
Yeah, make sure it's anchor. So you're gonna click on the part, then scroll down, find anchor. See if you can find anchor. Sometimes
Okay,
you may not see anchor. Anchor. If you find anchor, click on it. Again, anchor means we're gonna fix this thing to where it is right now, and then it's not gonna move ever.
Will anchor?
Yep, scroll down and see if you can find it in your properties. But again, first thing you gotta click on your part.
Okay. Okay, I click on it and
Yeah,
will
restart
do
again.
anchor. I don't know what is spelled anchor.
Yeah, so you're gonna scroll down in your properties, see if you can find anchor.
I don't know what it's spelled like.
Oh yeah, ANCHORED. All right, so a little more time.
I
But
believe
if you
it's
have
this
one though,
one. I believe it's this one. Like
then you see the little box right next to it. Click on the box.
okay.
Yeah, that's good. Click on the box, and then if you anchor it, then you can step on it. But yeah, once you are anchored though, we can just make more of this platform. So I'm gonna just click on this platform. Instead of making a new one, what we can do simply is to duplicate this part. So in that way, we don't need to anchor it one more time. We're just gonna move it to a different position, maybe change the size of that. So the way to do that, I'm gonna right click on the part, and now I can do duplicate, or the shortcut is Control D if you want to use the shortcut. If you're on the Mac, it'll be Command D. So right click on the part and then duplicate. Then same thing, click on move. Now I have two parts. There you go, very simple. Just like that, I have two steps that I can jump on. Now let me start one more time. And I can just jump on this too. So we go over here. I jump on the first one, I jump on the second one. There you go, pretty simple. All right, so that works. Yeah, Sherry, you have a question?
Yeah, when are we gonna do the Scratch? I'm just asking.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that very soon, probably in maybe 5 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, can you have a question?
On yours, how do you make the square float up like in the sky? I tried it on mine.
You click on the part and then you scroll down. Then you're gonna see in your properties this thing, anchor. Anchor is the thing that's gonna fix that in place. So make sure it's checked. If it's anchor, which means it's not gonna move, even though you push that.
I don't understand. I don't have a pause button. My cursor.
Yeah, hold up. Yeah, see if you can see this thing, properties. Yep, you have properties, right? There you go.
Yeah.
That's the properties. But then see if you can find this thing, anchor over here. Find this guy.
Wait, I will try to find it.
Yeah, scroll up and down, look for it. If you find it, then click on it. If it is anchor, then that means it's not gonna move. But yeah, let me just quickly show you guys how to just finish up creating the RB game. You can just duplicate and then same thing, move. Then that way you create more. Also, you can just change this thing. Let me do scale. I'm gonna make this thing very hard so I can make a very thin and long kind of bar. So in that way, this is gonna be very hard to walk past. Something like that. All right. And to make it even more interesting, it doesn't have to be just a part. We can also create a circle, a sphere as well. So if I click on this little arrow down here, and then I'll be able to change the shape of that part. So same thing, I can do that on a sphere, which means it's gonna be a ball. And then I'm gonna move it to the end. This time you're gonna be jumping on the ball from here. So in that way, the game will get a lot harder. Another thing to keep in mind is that after you move things, check in all different positions or views, because it might not be where you want it to be. Yep, I think now it's good. This is where I want it to be. And then also anchor it. Just like that. Pretty simple. Yeah. Yeah, George, you have a question?
How do you get the different shape?
Yeah, so again, click on this guy, this arrow right under the part. Then in that way, you'll be able to get different shapes out. Okay, so try it. Try different shapes, keep building on it. I'm gonna give everyone some more time. And then for the rest of the little time though, we're gonna do a little introduction of Scratch. Some of you probably have a lot of experience in Scratch already, but that part will be too simple for you. But let's see.
Martin, how you make a bar?
How do you make a bar? This bar?
Yeah,
something like this?
Yeah.
Is it something like this? So yeah, I just use scale to change the size of the platform. So let me show you again. So for example, I have this part right here, right? I click on it, and then I just click on scale. Then I'll be able to change the size of this one. I can scale it in and out, up and down. And that way you can do that whatever size that you want. All right, so that's the basic introduction to Roblox Studio. Okay. But yeah, as you can see, it's very easy to build a simple game with that, like Obby. But then for real Obby though, you have a lot of other stuff. For example, you have a Q part. So if you touch that, then you die. For those ones though, we'll need to actually do some programming. But again, we're gonna get there slowly. So this is where you start. Not too bad. Anyway, after this though, we're gonna get to Scratch. We're also, I think this class is a combination of Roblox Studio and Scratch together. So let's see. Let me just clear everything. We're gonna start doing a little Scratch. Again, it's gonna be a very basic Scratch. It's gonna be simple for some of you, but let's see. So let me just open up Scratch. If you guys don't know how to open up Scratch though, you can just search Scratch on Google. The first thing that comes up is usually it. Let me share my screen. Yep, so this is Scratch. Again, the way to open it up, we can just search for Scratch on Google. And then just click on the first link that comes up, that'll be Scratch. So basically, Scratch is a very convenient platform for you to make games. Okay, if you have that open though, you're gonna see something like this. Yours might look different from mine because I have an account and I already signed in. If you haven't signed in, yours is gonna look different, but that's okay. You can just click on Create, or somewhere on your screen, you should have a Create button. Click on it, and that way you'll be able to start making a game or making something. So for Scratch, the most common thing that people make is games. Second one will be animations. There's a lot more things you can do to it than just these two. But let me show you some of the projects that I did before if you haven't done any Scratch. So for example, let me see, we can create a simple turtle game like this. This game is fun. Let me just show you how it works. We can create a simple game like those ones. If I catch an apple, if I don't catch an apple, I'm gonna lose health. If I catch a pear, I'm gonna lose health, something like this. This is one of the example of a Scratch game. And let me see, there's some others as well. Some of the Among Us ones. Among Us is fun. So we can create something like this.
Scratch.
Yeah.
What's Scratch? Okay, here.
Or how do you open Scratch? So like this, Among Us. And then let me see some others that we did. But that's what you can do, what you can create with Scratch. Pac-Man is fun too. Go around and then hit the little dots. Okay, but yeah, if you have that open though, this will be the page that you are on, the basic Scratch page, and that just basically explain what you have over here. So this guy over here is called a sprite. Sprite is your game character, which you can program and control. And then over here, you have this thing called a backdrop. Backdrop will be the background of your game. You can customize that too. But yeah, the stuff that you see here are the control blocks. So you have a couple types. You have motion, which controls movement. Looks, which controls how a sprite is gonna look, the color, the costume, and all that. Sound controls sound, pretty straightforward. But the harder ones to understand are the events and the controls, sensing, operator, variable, my blocks. Those things are kind of difficult, but that's okay. We're gonna touch a little bit of that. But yeah, once you have that open, we're just gonna try to do some basic controls. So first, grab this guy out, glide 1 second to random position. I'm gonna just click on it and then drag it out. So the way to run this block is by clicking on it. If you click on this block though, you're gonna see it's moving to a random position for 1 second. Click on it, click on it, click on it, click on it. See if that works. And then other than going to random position though, for this one, something that we wanna do would be that we want it to follow our mouse. We can do that as well. The way to do that, we can just click on random position here. We can change that to mouse pointer. In that way, this character will be able to follow our mouse. But you're gonna see if you click on that, it's not gonna work very well. So the way for this one to work, we don't want it to work every time we click on it, but we want it to work all the time. So it's gonna keep working. So the way to do that, we're just gonna go down to control, add a forever around this glide 1 second to mouse pointer. And then just click on it. Now you move your mouse around, you're gonna see it's gonna follow your mouse. So this will be a very basic way to control a sprite. Okay, so see if that's working. But this will be the testing part of things. If you want it to work when the game is running, the way to do that though, we need to go to events. That's what events are for. Events are the ways to trigger a program. So if you click on that, and then you're gonna see when the green flag clicks like this. So we're gonna put this one right on top of the forever. In that way, once I click on this green flag over here, this program will start working. So that's what event is. Event triggers a program. Okay, now try click on the green flag up here. Then the cat's gonna follow your mouse. So that would be like the start button of your game. So clicking on the green flag is like start playing the game. All right, so try that, see if it works. Okay, so if this is good though, let's create another character that's gonna chase this cat. All right, so in that way, you create a simple chasing type of game. So if you click it down here, you'll be able to get all the sprites. Just click down there and then pick a random one that you like. So maybe cats, chick, bus, dinosaurs. Pick whichever one that you like. And then we're just gonna program that one to chase our cat. Very simple. Let me do maybe jellyfish. Why not? All right, just like this. Yours doesn't need to be the same as mine, but pick one now. Okay. So the idea of how the chasing works will be very similar to how it's following the mouse. So I'm gonna go to motion and then same thing. I'm gonna use glide 1 second too. instead of gliding to random position or mouse pointer, we have this new option. We can glide 1 second to sprite 1, like that. So if I click on this one, glide 1 second to sprite 1, and then do the same thing as what I did in the cat. So we can toggle in between these two. If you click on the cat here, then it's gonna show you the program that's in that sprite. If you click on the jellyfish here, then it's gonna show you the program that's in jellyfish. So in this way, you can separate the program on each sprite, each game character. Okay. So like this one, I'm gonna just do the same thing forever. And I'm gonna put a green flag on top. So what's happening right now is that every second, this one is gonna go to where your mouse pointer is. And then this jellyfish is gonna try to chase this cat. So try it, click on green flag. You're gonna see. In that way, we'll create a very simple type of chasing game. Also, what we can do after this is that if the jellyfish touches the cat, you lose the game. So something like that. Yeah, Sherry.
Well, I made a game already, but the thing is, I want to make the dragon shoot like fireballs. How do I do that?
That would be kind of hard. If you want to do shooting, you got to use this thing called create clone. So pretty much you need a bullet sprite, and then you're going to create clone of the sprite. And then that bullet clone will just shoot, something like that. But we're going to talk about that in the future though, if you decided to sign up. Okay, but yeah. I guess last thing, let me finish this one up really quick. So what we want to do is that if the jellyfish touches our player over here, so let me just move the player this way, move the jellyfish here. So if the jellyfish touches our player, then the whole game stops. All right. So the way to do that in my jellyfish, I can do the same thing, green flag. If in sensing, we have this thing called touching. So if you click down here in sensing, we're gonna use this guy touching, and then we're gonna put that in this slot. So this means if our jellyfish is touching sprite 1, which is our cat, then we're just gotta go to control and then do sub. Just a second, I'm gonna give everyone some time. Then we're gonna go to events, controls, put a stop all inside of here. But we need one last thing. One last thing that we need is that this program is only gonna work at the very beginning. So which means at the very beginning, if you don't touch, nothing's gonna happen. But we want this program to keep working though, because it might not touch at the beginning, it might touch in the middle of the game, it might touch near the end of the game. The way to do that, add a forever around it. In that way, this program is gonna keep working. So now try it. Oh no, it's touched already, so I lost. So let me switch this to position. Oh no, I lost. Well, that's basically how to make a simple Scratch game. If there's more time, you can make more complicated games. Anyway, I guess that's all for me for today. We did Roblox Studio, and then we did some Scratch. But yeah, that's what we'll be offering in the summer classes. If you guys are interested, go check it out. It's gonna be fun. All right. Okay, yeah. So Michael, I guess I'm done over here. If you want to take over.
Martin, I'm here, I'm back. So we're done.
Let me stop sharing. Yep.